mayor and council for the Borough of River Edge for November 25th, regular meeting. Please stand for a moment of silent reflection. Councilwoman Davis, if you'd lead us in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Statement of compliance with Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on December 21st of this location, date, and time to the Ridgewood News and Record, and by posting of the same on Municipal Bulletin Board and Borough website, and filing a notice of the same with the Municipal Clerk. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilwoman Bastide is out with prior notice. Councilman Canigo?
Here.
Councilwoman Davis? Present. Councilman Gaudier?
Here.
Councilwoman Kaufman? Here. Councilman Papaleo?
Here. Our first item now is a closed session, 19-363, resolution to go into closed session and exclude the public. Item 19-11/25-1, DPW contract negotiations. Item number 19-11/25-2, DPW promotions. May I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are now in closed session.
Hold on. Okay.
So the Mayor and Council agenda, November 25th. We've just come out of closed session. Our first item now is minutes. Can I have a motion to approve of the closed session minutes of October 21st, 2019?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
One abstention. Councilman Canigo. Approval of the regular session minutes of November 12th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Public items on public comments on any item in the agenda. Can I have a motion to go into open public session?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Seeing no one in the audience, I think it's fair to say, could I have a motion to close the comments from the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Since appointments and personnel changes are actually all part of contract stipulations, our BA, Mr. Purio, has advised me that we can move all 5 personnel changes as one. So can I have a motion to move?
So moved.
Second.
Do we need a roll call for this?
For the first reading,
No, for this.
your own appointments. You can, all together, you can do it if you want.
Yeah.
You want a roll call?
Oh, no, you don't need, no, you don't need.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? There we go. First reading and public hearing ordinance. Madam Clerk, would you read ordinance 19-21?
Ordinance 19-21, an ordinance to repeal Chapter 33 of the Code of the Borough of River Edge Fire Department and replace it in its entirety with Chapter 33 Fire Department.
Okay, this is our first reading. There will be a second reading, I believe, on December 8th. So this puts it on the agenda, and we move towards the second reading. Could I have a motion to, because this doesn't open to the public, does it?
No.
No, because it's first reading.
Yeah.
Could I have a motion to move ordinance 19-21?
So moved. Oh, I don't want to do that.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Councilman Canigo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis? Yes. Councilman Gaudier?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kaufman? Yes. And Councilman Papaleo?
Yes.
Councilman Papalayo, when you get to consent agenda, which is your next item, Resolution 19375, there was a typo that was made in there in order to equal out under Public Works, where from the from account, where it reads in the packet 10,000, it should read 10,500. So I asked that that be amended towards the consent agenda.
So our finance chair will do that. So without objection, we're going to do move 19-375 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone else on council wish to pull out any other of the, from 19-364 through 19-375, excluding 19-375?
Mr. Business Administrator, could you please, Mr. Puro, could you please inform us about 376, the resolution called for the study commission to review the Open Public Records Act?
Sure. And I'd actually ask our clerk to chime in on that. This was a request made by the Clerks Association that all councils go ahead and pass this resolution. As many of the municipalities know, there's been some issues, or at least from the clerk's position, associated with the Open Public Records Act, and they've asked you to consider such a resolution that would amend or address some of those issues. And if there's anything else that the clerk wants to add.
That's basically it. All the clerks, actually in the state of New Jersey, are pushing for a committee to be formed so that we can sit down with certain state representatives to have them acknowledge what we have to go through with OPA requests. Right now, we're standing at 705 OPA requests so far for this year.
And for, out of those 705, what are they for, generally?
Vacant property, abandoned property, any fees or violations, permits. What else, Mary, are the realtors asking for?
Councilman, this was actually a conversation down at the League of Municipalities, and I think one of the issues, at least from the clerk's position and from the administrator's position or perspective, is it's not so much an issue of us handing over documents as far as actions that take place at a meeting or backup documentation. A big concern of it is that these vendors are coming in and asking for
Data mining.
Yeah, they're basically data mining so that they can then go ahead and market to anybody who's done put in a pool. So now they can take that list and be able to go ahead and for a pool company, and now I'm going to go ahead and hit everybody up that's put a pool in River Edge, and like, here's my opening fee, here's my closing fee, I'll come back in your pool. And it's a lot of things of that nature that really is creating, from the municipality's perspective, an undue burden. I don't think it's so much for, as I said, for getting the meat and potato documents. It really has a lot to do with all of the other things associated with it.
I just would mention something I heard at the League was S106. They were saying, please talk to your legislators, because they're talking about changing the rules on the Open Public Meetings Act so that you can fee shift the attorney fees, which would mean a lot more people might do OPM actions against municipalities. So I don't know if we want to do something about that later.
Are we good? Okay. So without objection, and could I have a motion for 19-364 through 19-376, excluding what has already been approved, 19-375?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? Could I ask our finance chair to move 19-377?
Payment of bills, whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee, now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $1,213,428.70. Capital account, $42,455.51. Grant fund account, $10,014.37. Trust other account, $138,689.25. Open space account, $54. Payroll account, $124,395.89. Unemployment trust account, $22,787.24. Recreation account, $6,774.61. Be it further resolved that claims read and approved by the governing body at a council meeting will be dated the day after the reading of those claims and will appear on the following bill list at the next public meeting of the mayor and council, at which time claims will be paid. So moved.
Second. Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions, any noes? Okay. Item number 12, Borough Administrator's topic, parking for Grove Street Restaurant.
Yes, sir. This conversation came up, I believe, at the last council meeting, and since that point in time, myself, your borough engineer, and your public works director went over to Grove Street to kind of give it a once-over and to evaluate what we thought potential recommendations might be. I've reported back to yourself and the council president at the time, and the suggestion was brought up that perhaps a small group of us go over there and take a look at it to decide what potential remedies, if any, that we can do to try to help some of the residents out over in that area. Before the meeting, you and I had spoken, and we will look to set up that meeting and then report back either at the next meeting or put it on the agenda for the new year. That's it, thank you.
Any comments from council?
No, it should be explored. There's a resident who has asked us for help, and we should certainly do whatever we can, but also keeping in mind our commercial property owners who are using those spaces for a reason. So certainly let's talk about it some more, take a look at it, and get something done for everybody.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Can we open to the public? Please, motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Again, there is no public present, so we will immediately fulfill our obligation. Can I have a motion to close to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Can I
yes,
bring up, I don't see new business on here.
we can certainly absolutely do that. New business.
I sent you over a letter I got from the ambulance corps, and they have concern, their little parking lot, which they're very happy about, but it just has a little cutout, like that you would walk through, and they said that it was put in, they understand that it was put in to avoid traffic exiting and entering from Continental Avenue, which was the original plan on that. But now, since we have entrance from Continental, it kind of becomes a moot point, and it's very difficult to back out of there. You don't have the radius, I know for a fact. You know, you're tight, you get into that spot, you have nowhere, because it's not open there. So they, you know, they said that, I'll read it, it says, now that the council has elected to allow two-way traffic into and out of the lot on Continental, we don't see any reason for the curbing to be there, and feel it was maybe an oversight to keep it there. Furthermore, the members that have parked against the curb have found that they are unable to back out of the spot because of the turning radius. The only way the spots are able to be used is if you back into them. And in an emergency, there's really not a lot of time to do that.
I've sent your request on to engineering. We'll
You
go ahead
did,
and
okay,
evaluate.
I forwarded it to you, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to bring it up since they asked me to.
I'm glad you did. That is a safety concern.
But I went to the meeting last week, and I happened to have that end spot, and it's difficult to get in it, and it's very hard to get out.
And I'm sure you end up
Because you
straightening
don't
the
have a
wheel.
place to turn, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
So,
Okay. No, I think that's a great
Thank
comment.
you.
Thank you. Any other new business? Any old business? Okay, seeing none, we did go through public comments, but we just have Council-elect Montesano Cohen is here, and Lou Grasso. Would either of you like to make comments?
Now that we have a public.
yeah.
And Lou? Oh, then we will reopen. All right, so we'll start with council comments. I'd like to both begin and end, if I may. I'd like to begin with an award for outstanding service, for surely a great gift of selflessness on behalf of Mary Davis, Councilwoman of River Edge. Mary Davis, Councilwoman, 2016 to 2019, in appreciation for your dedicated and valuable contribution to service, the best interest of the residents of River Edge, Mayor and Council, 2019. Mary? Thank you. And what we'll do is actually, if I may amend this, the entire council will go, and instead of the center chair ending, if you like, Mary, you may end. Would you like that privilege? All right. Councilman Kanigo, if you would begin.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to begin just by thanking the River Edge Fire Department and their leadership for sitting down with the council last week. I know that there were numerous concerns about the ordinance that we passed for first reading tonight. We sat down, a group of us, for several hours to discuss, to read over every word of the ordinance to make sure that the fire department chief and leadership was not only happy with what was being offered, but had their say and explained any of their concerns. I believe that by the time we left the meeting, everybody was happy. Indeed, the ordinance was amended to reflect many of their concerns and to address many of their concerns. They've had an opportunity to review the ordinance and give us further comments once all the corrections and amendments were made to what was originally proposed. Having heard nothing else from the fire department, today we were able to pass it at first reading. I think it is a strong ordinance. I think it is very well thought out. It was worked on by numerous individuals, by professionals. I'd like to thank Mr. Sarlo for his work and his leadership on this matter. Just terrific.
Thank you.
Mr. Jacoby, our attorney, also contributed and did some great work on this, and his firm. And of course, the leadership of the fire department. Our volunteers are incredibly important to us. We value them, and we value their input, and we will always continue to do so. So thank you there. I also wanted to thank, I know the fire department just had elections, there's new leadership in, I'll let Mary talk to that, but I just wanted to congratulate everybody and thank the outgoing leadership as well for the time and work that they put in. Many of us this past week were down at the League of Municipalities meeting. We were able to take part in numerous classes. I know that I learned a great deal. It was also good to catch up with people we don't generally see on a regular basis and to be able to talk about things that will affect our borough and our state in the future and to get ahead of some of these issues. It's invaluable and it was a great learning experience. We have a tree lighting here in River Edge on Saturday, December 7th at 4 p.m. So come one, come all. It's always a great ceremony and experience, and it's a great way to get together with your neighbors and friends here in town. I'm going to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up this week. And last and certainly not least, I just want to thank Mary for your hard work, for your dedication to this town. You know that you and I met when I ran against you the first time, and you kicked my butt. But once I came on the council, we've been sitting next to each other. We were on that side first, and then we came on this side first. And I think I consider you a friend, and it's been really fantastic sitting next to you. I know that you are You care about River Edge deeply. You've always given of yourself. Before you were on the council, certainly since you've been on the council. When you're called in the middle of the night by the fire department, you're there. When we call you to talk about issues, you're there. And I'm sure that we can still count on you once you're not on the council. But enjoy the time that is not, and it's been a pleasure.
Councilwoman Coleman.
I also would like to congratulate the incoming leadership at the fire department and thank the outgoing leadership. Also learned a lot at the league, which hopefully will help the town on a going forward basis. And just wanted to mention the Historic Commission had their meeting last Wednesday. I wasn't there because it was at the league, but they do have 2 interested high school students, one from River Edge and one from Oradell, who want to take the affiliate slot, so that's good. And they're very excited about doing Instagram posts of historical items in the town, so that's also good. They're also interested in helping with the QR sign project, which hasn't happened yet, but it's still kind of in the works, so we could do like walking tours of town and have QR codes on a lot of different signs and then click through and get information.
That's great.
So I'm glad that's rolling forward. And then the other thing is they need to replace George Carter, who is retiring as archivist. So if anyone knows of anyone who would be interested in taking his job over, it's basically putting items into a Microsoft Access database and scanning items into a scanner to help the town build its historical record. And Mary, I haven't really known you very long, like a year, but it's been great working with you, and I hope you have a great time with your new freedom. And happy Thanksgiving for everyone. Thank you.
Councilman Green.
Thank you. I also would like to thank the fire department leadership. We were able, the fire department subcommittee was able to sit down with the leadership of the fire department and really hash things out and discuss the numerous issues and come to agreements that are better for the residents of River Edge. So I thank them for that, and I'm glad we could sit down and communicate. And I think when people sit down and communicate with each other, they usually agree on most things. So I was very happy about that. I'd also like to congratulate the new leadership that will be taking over, and I'm sure they'll do a great job as the previous leadership did as well. Went to the League of Municipalities for the first time. It was a great experience. I was able to attend a number of classes that were taught by experts in their field and gain some invaluable information. So it was a wonderful experience. And, well, Mary, this is your last meeting. And for those of you who don't know Mary very well, she's really one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Really, you are. And one of the nicest things about being on the council, you know, since I was appointed after, unfortunately, Vito's death, was getting to know you better. Because you're a great lady.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to miss you, and I know we're all going to miss you.
Thank you.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Mary. Mary, you never cease to give of yourself, to go above and beyond. You really do. It was about 4 years ago, and I believe we were at the Revos dinner, and I was sitting next to Ed, and we were talking about the open seat that had come up, and we were going back and forth about, well, who we could do that. And I don't know if Ed looked at you first or I. You had just gotten an award for like
42 and a half years.
42 and a half years of service, selfless service to Revos, River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service. And I think Ed said it first. He said, well, what about Mary? I said, oh my God, Mary would be outstanding.
I never thought you were involved in that. I've only blamed him.
I was. And then I turned to Ed and I said, let's quickly take the temperature. And then he turned to Vito, and Vito was like, yes, Vito approves. And you gave it yourself. You said yes. First you said no a couple of times. But that was only out of humility, I know. and a concern about commitment for time. Again, noble. And you have been selfless on the council, you've been gracious, you've been hardworking, and you have also suffered sometimes under unfair Facebook posts and unfair comments, but you've handled it like a trooper, and you put River Edge first, and you've always put River Edge first. And I'm honored to call you a friend, and I'm honored to call you a peer on the council, and thank you.
Thank you.
A couple other things I'd like
You want
to...
to give her a moment to...
She's going to end.
Oh, at the very end.
She's ending. So,
That's for us.
yeah, absolutely. So the fire department, congratulations to Chief Sanders on his election. Thank you to Chief O'Connell, Deputy Chief Pugliese, Assistant Chief Sanders, and to all the other captains, lieutenants who have served over the last 2 years. Again, to echo, thank you, Matthew Giacobbe, thank you, Mr. Tom Sarlo, thank you, Mr. Fiorio, thank you, Fire Department officers and Bylaws Committee for their phenomenal job in revising and creating a ordinance that will serve the people of River Edge for hopefully decades to come. I think it's a testament that the fire department is comfortable with this and the fact that there is not one fire department officer or member present in today's meeting because they knew that I believe, I think I can infer that they knew that this was an ordinance that they could live with and that we have heard the voices. I'd also like to thank Councilman Inigo and for his work on this ordinance. Thank you. I think I covered everyone. No, Councilman Gordia. I apologize.
Councilwoman-elect.
Oh, and Councilwoman-elect Montesano Cohen. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. Tree lighting, of course, that's going to take place, and I have the honor of offering a few comments. I hope they are just a few. The League was a great experience for me. I took a 6-hour course on land use, followed by an 1.5-hour course on case law with land use, and then a course on cyber crime and ransomware. It was very, very informative. It's well worth it, and it was great to be done in the League with much of the council. Shade Tree Commission met just a couple of days ago. I was present with there. They continue to do great work for the borough of River Edge. We applaud their efforts and their work. Beautification is doing a great job preparing the town for the holidays. We thank them, especially Michelle Gritty and especially what's Liz's last name? Stewart. Liz Stewart on Shade Tree. We thank them all. Jason and DPW is doing a phenomenal job with the leaves, cleaning up, and keeping up with all the other many issues of the town. We thank them very, very much. And I think I covered it all. And now, final words. Councilwoman Davis.
Well, just so you all know, I am councilwoman until December 30th, so I will be doing my job. I just cannot make the next meeting because I have a past state president's realtor meeting down in Atlantic City. So, as far as the fire department, I am absolutely thrilled that we were able to come to this agreement, and they are a wonderful bunch of men and women over there that give of themselves totally and protect this town 24/7, and I am thrilled that we were able to work that all out. This past, and Bill Sanders was elected chief, but the rest of the officers have their election, I think it's the first week in December, so he's the only one right now. Since they had the software problem, I got a September and October report just this week, and there were 67 events. There were 58 alarms, 6 drills, 3 meetings. There was 1 structure fire, 2 cooking fires, 4 accidents, 7 carbon monoxide, 8 natural gas, 14 activated alarms, and 3 brush and rubbish. We gave mutual aid to New Milford and Oradell for the Woodcrest Nursing Home. They had 2 times a ruptured oxygen tank one time and a working fire on the 2nd floor another time. And Oradell assisted us with the extrication of victims from the car versus train. So, as always, they do an awesome job. I want to say, as you all know, I came kicking and screaming. All my life I've been asked to go and be on the council, and never would I ever think of doing such a thing. Always bad for my business. It's just not good for me. And these people attacked me, a sneak attack, and I said no. This was on a Friday night for dinner, and I said no right up until Monday afternoon. Phone calls and everything else. Absolutely not. And there I was with my grandson raising my hands. And it amazes me that the person that I thought was the only one who was in charge has been gone for 6 months, and I'm here. However, I must say that I'm happy to be done with the meetings. I have so much going on in my life. Believe me, I'm not retiring. And I will miss everybody sitting up here on the dais. My seatmates and Ellen, I truly believe we have become friends. And, you know, I knew casually you. I only knew what's running against you. I truly have come to feel that we have a friendship. And you guys, and Tom, we've known each other for years, but you two over there, over the past year, you have no idea what, you smile and you nod. When I would say something, that just like you do, it just means so much to, you know, the person on the other side. You know, I'm the lone Republican here, but you never made me feel that way. So it's a testament to all of you that I have been able to feel this comfortable for this long. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure. And I will see you at the tree lighting and everything else. Oh, and council. How could I forget you? You are a gift to this town. You really are, because you're always quietly in the background. And the minute you call you for something, you're right there with the answers. You always have our back, and you're so professional, and you just make things easy for us, and I appreciate that. And thank you to you, Stephanie, also. I appreciate everything. And our new BA. Thank you.
I say, be Mary Davis.
Please. Don't do that. That's just, I'm not like that. You know that.
Mary, can you give us a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. We are adjourned.
I think there's a whole bunch of committees